Buddy, Scout Crafter here again. Another quick one from restoration from the show, what we picked up. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started.
Here we have a quick little restoration because there's not that much that's needed for this. And I bought these for $1 and at the show. And you can see these are Durex, West Germany. So you know they're pretty old whenever you see West Germany. Everything is pretty nice on here. The cutters are pretty nice. The problem we have is, you can see it's a little bit loose, and you can see it's wise that Rivet has worked its way a little bit loose. But what I think about these is so interesting is, you know, 15,000 volt. You can see the heavy duty coverings look in good shape. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take it over to the dake and straighten that out. We'll press that right down. Okay, here we are with everybody's favorite, the dake. Now I want to tell you something on the nose cone here of the ram that travels up and down. It usually comes with a little flat nose cone protector here that you put on, and that can get banged up. You can replace this. You can get new ones from Dake or other places. But it also comes from the factory with this, and that is a stepped cone. You could use this for pressing out different bushings or bearings or whatever you had to, and it comes like that, and that just screws on there. So that's a nice little feature. Okay, here's the setup. We want to push that outside of the rivet down and around. The problem is on the back here, we have this curved surface. If we try and put it on a piece of flat metal, it won't sit straight. So we take a small piece of wood. That's going to fit right there. Where so now we have it's going to be nice and flat. In order to get that rivet to push out and around, we're going to use the bottom of this carriage bolt that we took out of the vice grips the other day. And we're going to place that right in the center. And you see how that's nicely placed real nice there. So, and now we're going to press this down. And that should squeeze not only the outside flange of the rivet out, but it should also do a good job in keeping that pressure even around the whole outside, the whole edge. So I'm waiting till I make contact. There we go. We have contact. I'm just going to put my hand here just so I could feel it a little bit. Pressing it down a little bit. You can see we're starting to get a little pressure on there. We have about a little bit over a ton. I'm going to take a look at it. No sense in rushing it, you know. And, okay. You can see it's pushing it down a little bit. Definitely took out some play, but let's see if we can get it a little bit more. I'm going to do it one more time. And that's how you sneak up on it, more or less. And give it another press. You can feel the wood starting to give a little bit. Okay. And we'll see how that looks. Okay, you can see that it's starting to press down there, and you can see it's definitely tightening up a little bit, and we'll just do it a little bit more until it's okay, we're fresh from the dake, and you can see here how that did a nice job in flattening that out, giving a nice convex, and you can see here it's not closing on its own anymore. You can see it's a little bit on the stiff side, but a little bit of lubrication will get that working in. It's much easier to loosen something up than it is to tighten it up. So now that it's nice and tight, we'll start working on the finish. Now while wire brushing it, I realized that the handles, if you wiggle them right and pull from the top, from here, open it up, pull it here, use your thumb close and wiggle it back and forth, you can get the handles, even though there's a little bit of rust under there, to come off like that just did. Now we'll, not too bad, we'll finish wire brushing these, we'll coat them, we'll clean up the handles. Okay, here's where we are. Pliers are all done as far as polished out, lubricated. Took the handles, got them all rust free. Now we put some alcohol on them, cleaned them all off. Did the same with the grips, cleaned the insides too, let them dry, put a blow dryer just to make sure there was no residual fluid left in there. Now we're going to use this, I like to use this silicone too. It's crystal clear. And what I do is I put a little bit around the inside here before I push the handles on, and that'll spread down. The reason you put them in the handle first and not on the pliers is because if I was to put some on the pliers and slide it up, it'll just make a mess as it pushes it up the pliers. So you put a little dab here and it pushes it down. Now you know my favorite part. You remember what these pliers look like before we started. Okay, we are calling these finished. And you can see here the model. This is the Durex, West Germany. It is the 8-inch model. You can see here it's imprinted on the rubber grip. It came out real nice, you know, as expected. I mean, these, there weren't too much to these. You can see the jaws are in pretty decent shape. What I found most interesting about these is that, again, West Germany, which places it between the age of, I guess, 50 and 1950 and 1960 or so, around that area. And you can see here the cutters, they work good, and the side cutters too. Side cutters always work very good. So it's an interesting little pair of pliers. The reason I like them so much is because of the rubber grips, and you can see how nicely they came out using the hand cleaner. So that's always a great tip for that. The hand cleaner works fantastic for these, and these are real rubber. You can even smell the rubber to them. They're probably a real high quality grade of rubber, and they had to be back then for 15,000 volts. Today they use a slightly different compound. Anyway, so that's the little cleanup of these $1 pliers. Nice and tight now, not loose. And the Durex West German pliers. Hope you enjoyed this quick restoration. Thanks very much for tuning in. Take care and have a nice day.